Sagittarius, haven't you tried hard enough yet still felt money slipping through your fingers? And if you've ever asked, why did I do everything right and still end up with the wrong result, then this August is your answer. Jupiter, your ruling planet, has moved into the 8th house, and for the first time in years, it's unlocking financial doors that were never part of the plan. Instead, it's money from places you never expected, a delayed tax refund, a loan that finally gets approved. Someone who once hesitated now decides to take a chance on you. This is no longer theory. This is real cash flow, a new current of energy. And when Venus travels alongside Jupiter, it's no longer about spare change. It's an entire value system being reinstated. What you receive isn't just wealth. It's the feeling that you're reclaiming control. August 1st to 10th. Protect your money, protect your spirit, because things haven't even peaked yet. You feel everything slipping sideways, not quite out of control, but definitely no longer the way it was. Money, trust, your closest relationships. Suddenly everything turns into a question mark. You want to help, you want to believe, but this time your heart doesn't feel as confident as it used to. Something feels off, and you'll likely see all of the following, sometimes all in a single day. Someone asking to borrow money, someone suggesting an investment or cost sharing, a family member bringing up health issues, inheritance, or sending a message that unsettles you. And you, Sagittarius, are caught between two opposite waves, wanting to open your heart, but fearing you're being pulled into a spiral with no clear end. This is no coincidence. From July 31st to August 5th, Venus, the planet ruling money, love, and what you define as valuable, is trapped between two opposing forces, Neptune and Saturn. Neptune makes you dream, believe easily, soften, even when deep down, doubts remain. Saturn, on the other hand, plays the realist, forcing you to face the facts, the limits, and the consequences. And when both planets close in on Venus at once, you're pushed into a tough corner. Who do you trust? What do you do? Should you help or should you step back? These are days of mental static where your emotions and logic are no longer aligned. And if you rush to trust, rush to decide, rush to give, you might end up paying the price with both your money and your peace of mind. So, don't transfer funds. Don't agree to invest. Don't shoulder someone else's burden out of guilt. Not everyone who needs help deserves yours. Not every sweet word deserves your trust. And not every act of compassion means you must save the whole world. Stand firm, because starting August 6th, the tension between Neptune and Saturn begins to ease. What was once blurry will gradually come into focus. You'll receive more information, and the truth will begin to reveal itself. If you manage not to lose your money or yourself during the early days of the month, then by mid-month, you'll realize you've just passed one of the universe's most intricate tests. You'll notice a few relationships beginning to crack without anyone needing to say a word. Suddenly, you don't feel like sharing everything anymore. You lose the desire to talk about what you're working on. And most importantly, you no longer feel heard. You once believed you'd walk the long road with them. You believed your efforts would be valued. But now, you begin to wonder, do they still truly support you, or were they only walking beside you while it was beneficial? And it's not just about friendship. Some plans, some dreams, some collaborators who once seemed like stars in your sky now appear dim and distant. Starting August 6th, Mars, the planet of action and confrontation, officially enters Sagittarius' 11th house, the zone of friendships, teams, ideals, and long-held goals. But Mars doesn't walk in alone. It immediately forms oppositions to Saturn and Neptune, planets of limitation and illusion, a visible tug of war. You want to break through, but something pulls you back. You want clarity, but all you receive are mixed signals. It'll feel like the universe is testing you to see if you have the courage to walk away from spaces that no longer fit. Here's what might unfold. Someone close suddenly turns cold. A once promising plan abruptly collapses. A trusted teammate backs out at the last moment. All of this are signs that not everyone can handle your light when you truly start to shine. This isn't the time to cling on. It's the time to choose again. You might end a project you once loved because it no longer reflects who you are. Step away from a relationship that drains your creative energy. Or finally take your passion seriously, writing, teaching, creating, no longer treating it as a side hustle. This week's lesson's clear. Not everyone can accept your evolution. Not everyone will applaud your glow. And not everyone belongs in your next chapter. If it comes down to living by someone else's expectations or living as the version of you that's rising within, then choose yourself. You don't need to make a scene, but you do need to be clear. August 10th to 13th, you're no longer wishing. You're witnessing it unfold. It's not the kind of maybe this month I'll get lucky. It's arriving in many forms: money, support, a compensation, an apology through action, a hand reaching out, just when you thought you had to walk alone. Venus is trining Jupiter, right in your 8th house, the realm that governs other people's money. What you once had to ask for, now someone offers freely. What was once rejected now circles back as an invitation. It could be an asset you thought was dead weight, suddenly generates income. A side hustle unexpectedly gains attention. An old promise finally fulfilled, or simply this: you no longer feel like you're lacking, not because you suddenly have too much, but because you're receiving what was always meant to be yours. Astrology doesn't promise, it restores, and this time you're not asking, "Are you sure?" You just nod. You receive calmly, deservedly. This is not a reward, it's evidence. You're not late. You're arriving at the perfect moment in your timeline. You don't need to shout to be heard. You just need to stand exactly where you belong, and the door will open on its own. The message of this week is, it's not about trying harder. It's about loosening your grip, so the flow of abundance has space to come in. You're no longer in the getting ready phase. You're at the pivot. An email, a phone call, a proposal. That sounds casual, but is in fact the early draft of a contract taking shape. When Mercury meets Mars, right in the house of action, communication, and decision-making, this is not the time to think more. It's the time to send it, not to wait and wonder if it's okay, but to nod and take the step. You might be waiting for a response from a school, organization, or international partner, looking to launch a channel, publish something, or send out your first piece of writing, standing at the edge of a big move, studying abroad, relocating, or working with people overseas. And the signal will come, not vague, not delayed. The only question is, are you clear enough to act? Mars doesn't wait. Mercury doesn't repeat itself. If you miss this week, there won't be a second draft. Act, even if it's not perfect yet. Respond before the question is withdrawn. Speak up before someone else gets chosen. Not everything will be easy, but it will be clear. You don't feel this motivated by accident. It's because the door has already been unlatched. You no longer need to force yourself. You just need to step out of hesitation. Support will come from the most unexpected places. A relative who once felt distant, a mentor who used to only observe from afar, an email sitting in your drafts. That once sent changes everything. This week's astrology doesn't promise, it shows what's possible. Whether you seize it or just watch it pass is entirely up to you. August 13th to 19th. Somewhere in this same week, a sudden connection appears. You can't name it, but it's strong enough to make you want to change your entire way of living. You begin to feel something shifting inside, not because of any specific event, but because a person or a moment makes you pause. You can't explain why you're drawn in so deeply. You just know that from that point on, you start imagining a different life, a different way of being, a different version of yourself. This isn't random, because this week, Venus, the planet of value, attraction, and emotion, forms a trine with the North Node, the point of destiny. This is a rare and deeply directional alignment, opening the door to someone you've just met, yet feel as if you've known forever. An offer that forces you to reassess all your past goals. A restless urge to leave the familiar, even if nothing feels certain yet. This is not an ordinary bond. It doesn't need logic. It's not showing up at the right time. It might not even be easy to name, but it makes you want to live differently, to drop old habits, to move away from what's stale, to start again in a space where you can be more of yourself. You might feel someone has just entered your life, and suddenly what you have no longer feels enough. A collaboration opportunity, however vague, ignites an old desire you thought you'd buried. Or simply, I don't want to keep living the same way anymore. This isn't the time for logical decisions, but it's also not the time to make choices purely from emotion. You only need to do one thing: listen to the feeling, acknowledge it, don't avoid it, don't rush to define it. Because whether this connection lasts or not, it is the clearest signal from destiny yet. You're ready to live in a completely new way. The only question is, will you dare to admit that to yourself? Don't be quick to label the feeling, and don't rush to dismiss a connection before it even begins. Because maybe this is the key that unlocks the next chapter of your life. August 19th to 22. This is the phase for revisiting old pain. You thought you'd already moved on, but there are still emotions. quietly lingering, soft as dust. Yet they shape every decision you make each day. As Chiron, the celestial body of unspoken wounds, is illuminated directly by the sun and Venus, this becomes a moment you can no longer avoid. What's been buried deep in your subconscious will now rise into full view. You might suddenly notice you're afraid to love, afraid of being left behind, afraid you're not good enough, afraid of repeating past failures. You might run into someone from your past, hear a familiar phrase, or find yourself in a situation eerily similar to what once broke you. But it's not here to hurt you again. It's here so you can see what patterns you're repeating. This time you're no longer blaming anyone, no longer making excuses, no longer beating yourself up. You're just looking with clarity. This is the deepest inner phase, not comfortable, not brief, but absolutely real. And you'll realize you're no longer the one who's wounded. You're the one who's healing. You're changing the way you live, the way you spend, the way you love, the way you treat yourself. If you feel tired, it's because you're transforming. If you feel confused, it's because you're stepping into a life that's more authentic. Let this phase pass, but don't miss the real lesson it's bringing you. On August 23rd, the sun officially moves into Virgo, and your 10th house begins to activate. That space represents your career, reputation, and the imprint you leave on this world. From this moment on, things won't feel vague anymore. You'll see clearly where you stand, what you're striving for, and what image is suffocating you. Inner signals begin to surface. A sense of disconnect from your job, even if everything looks fine. A role that once felt right now makes you feel smaller. An environment that once felt safe now starts to feel stifling. These are signs of awakening. When the sun illuminates your 10th house, you're asked to revisit your long-term goals. No more dodging, no more temporary living. Everything becomes clearer than you expected. Does your current job still hold meaning? Does your title still reflect who you truly are? Is your stability actually killing your inner drive? You'll start to see everything through a different lens, more realistic, more detailed, and yes, more painful, but also more accurate. Not to criticize, but to shed the outdated identity you've outgrown. If you feel discouraged, it's not a sign of recklessness. It's a signal from the universe you're ready to step out. It's time to level up. So, if an opportunity for change arises, see it as a challenge made just for you. If you're thinking about resigning, starting your own project, switching fields, or simply living more authentically, don't dismiss it. If someone says you're unstable, remember, staying the same is the most unstable thing of all. August 23rd, a turning point. Not to end something, but to rewrite your entire definition of success. And this time, no one else is writing it for you. August 25th to 31, this is the final sign. If you've been waiting for something else, there's nothing more. The sun is now shining its light on your 10th house, the domain of career, reputation, and personal positioning. At the same time, Mercury, the planet of communication, thought, and self-expression, is preparing to go retrograde. Not to pause you, but to turn your attention inward and help you verify yourself. At this moment, every reason you've used to delay will surface, but simultaneously, a quiet pressure will rise within you. You can no longer keep writing, then deleting, sketching, then hiding, thinking, then shelving it away. You'll feel it, the restlessness of silence, the weight of not speaking out. This is the time to go public. Not loud, not perfect, just true. If you've ever had a half-written manuscript, an idea you never sent, a channel you never launched, this is the moment when not starting becomes impossible. The platforms you once thought, maybe later, YouTube, Substack, blog, podcast, now become key gateways where you need to show up with your voice. You can no longer label yourself an amateur, because this time your talent isn't just something you keep to heal yourself. It's a tool, a path, something that must now be used seriously, and you won't walk alone. A potential collaborator might appear. A platform might offer a partnership. Someone who stayed silent may now reach out first. Support will come the moment you choose to stand up. Astrology also opens up softer, happier news in the family. A child may be welcomed. A young member could achieve something unexpected. Or simply you feel light, no longer torn between I should do it and I'll wait. This is a phase where no one gives you permission, but you no longer need it. If you've been waiting for a clear sign, this is it. This time it's not someone else. It's you who opens the door. You don't have to keep hiding your skills. You don't have to wait for recognition before you begin. You just have to accept that you are ready and step forward. Because from August 25 to 31, the world begins to listen, but you must be the one to speak first. August 30th to 31, On these 2 days, your communication axis is suddenly activated. Mercury, the planet of information, connection, and old memories, begins to slow down before its retrograde and forms a rare alignment with Uranus, the bringer of unexpected awakenings. This is when a seemingly ordinary conversation could shake the very belief system you've been living by. You might receive an email you thought would never arrive, a message from someone who's been silent for ages, an invitation that forces you to see yourself from an entirely new angle. Not everyone receives this kind of moment. Only those who've endured in silence, who've tried without being seen, who've held on to their passion without applause. And now the universe responds. Astrology also notes other possibilities in this window. Some of you may receive joyful news about a child. Others may rediscover a spark they thought was gone for good. A few may feel an eerie connection with a stranger, someone who seems to understand you too deeply, too soon. You don't need to define what that relationship is. You don't need to overanalyze why this message came now. You only need to respond. Read carefully, and don't shut it down just because it feels too surreal. And so August ends with a subtle signal. But it's enough to open an entirely new chapter if you're willing to read it closely, and if you respond at the right moment. We've just walked through the full landscape of August, a journey that's not exactly pleasant but deeply necessary. Here are the 4 key events you need to keep in mind. August 1st to 10, hold your finances tight and stay grounded. August 11 to 18, unexpected connections push you to reevaluate your emotions and direction. August 19th to 23, a phase of redefining your career, relationships, and sense of self. August 24-31, time to go public with what you've been hiding. A past joy or opportunity might return. This is a month for decisive action. If you feel that August has been a turning point for you, leave a comment below. And if you want to keep receiving the clearest, deepest, most timely forecasts, hit subscribe so you never miss out. See you in the next video, where every decision begins with your courage to step out of your old self.